Today we're going to take a look at the replacement belt for the Liftmaster and Raynor garage door opener. There's a couple details that will help you get the correct belt for your operator. Let's get into it. In order to get the correct belt for your operator, there's two details that you're going to need to know, and that is which version of the belt do you need. There's an older version and a newer version. So the newer version is from operators made around 2002, 2003 till the present, and then the older versions are the ones made before that. To determine which version of belt you need, we're going to take a ruler or a tape measure, and we're going to measure 6 inches of your existing belt. In those 6 inches, you're going to see some ridges and grooves, and you're going to want to count how many are there in those 6 inches. If you count 20 ridges or grooves, then that would be considered the new version of the belt. Here's the part number for that. And if you count 12 grooves within those 6 inches, then that would be the old version of the belt. And here's the part number for that. So that's the most important tip, is getting the right version of belt, because if you have the wrong one, it's not going to work with your operator. But there's a second detail that you need to know, and that is the length of belt that you need. If you look at the packaging or descriptions of the belt, you're going to see 7 foot, 8 foot, or 10 foot. And that refers to the height of your garage door, not the belt length. So you could measure the height of your door to determine which length of belt you need. So if you measure and have a 7 foot high door, then you would need the 7 foot belt. However, there's one caveat to that, and that is there's a possibility that you could have an 8 foot operator mounted on a 7 foot door. So just measuring the height of your door wouldn't be enough to know what you exactly need. And why would an 8 foot opener be mounted on a 7 foot garage door? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is could be an issue with the back room, and a 7 foot operator wouldn't fit real well, and they need a little bit further back for the power head. So an 8 foot probably work better. And the other reason is that the installer probably forgot the 7 foot rail back at the shop. So he had an 8 foot on the truck and just used it anyways. It doesn't hurt to have an 8 foot operator on a 7 foot door. It'll work just the same. But this is something that you need to know before you buy a replacement belt. So that's why we always recommend that you measure your existing belt first to know the overall length of it so you can get the correct belt. The easiest way to do that is if you have your belt off already and just measure the overall length of it. But if your belt is still on the operator, that's fine. You can still measure it. Just measure from the front pulley all the way back to the back pulley gear, and then multiply that by 2, and that will give you the overall length, or approximately, of what your belt length is. So here are the overall lengths of the 7 foot belt, the 8 foot belt, and the 10 foot belt. So now you have the most important details for purchasing a replacement belt. You'll know if you have the old or new version, and you'll also now know what the overall length of belt that you need. If you're in the market for buying a belt, there's links in the description below for the 7 and 8 foot belts that we offer. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at youtube@garagedoorzone.com and come visit our store at garagedoorzone.com. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.